Welcome to the latest episode of the Esports Awards Origins podcast. I'm joined by my friend Mira. You can call her Ephey. She is one of the greatest Dota analysts of all time. And you can watch now, currently, if you watch any circuit there. Is that right?
All-timer, baby.
Boom.
Boom.
Done.
Digon, what a great friend you are. I'm
Yes.
so happy to be here with my great friend.
Why did you say that so entertainingly?
Because it's my feelings.
Okay. Mira, we got to ask, like, how you got into esports. I mean, it's the big question, but esports and Dota, out of all the esports,
Yeah?
it's the hardcore one.
It's
It's
the
the
nerdy
punishing
one.
one. It's the nerdy one.
Yeah.
Games still go 65 minutes. It hasn't been patched out yet.
Yeah, that's a single and 50 cats at 40 game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want the short story or the long story?
We got time, girl.
I'll give you the TLDR and then we can elaborate on the
Okay.
parts you think are interesting.
Okay.
But as a young lass growing up in Jordan,
Yeah.
there wasn't that much to do, at least during my generation. It's a lot more fun now, obviously, for younger kids. But basically, the pastime that most kids did was they would just play on their computer or they would go to network cafes or LAN cafes. We call them cybers in Arabic. So you would just go there and play games. And the two most popular games at the time were Warcraft 3 and Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So that's just what everybody was playing.
So you were playing Counter-Strike.
Not really. I never got into that. But
Oh.
I would play Warcraft 3 with my brother and my friends from school, and I would skip class and just play it. And started when I was 14, and the Dota All-Stars map was the big thing that we played
Yep.
in Warcraft 3.
Yep.
And I guess I just never shook the habit. Like, Dota became Dota 2, and I went to college and I still played Dota 2. Then I decided I didn't want to finish college and
Yeah.
I just wanted to do Dota, so I was a streamer for a while. And eventually I got a phone call from a good friend of mine who believed in me, basically. Kyle, he was working at WePlay
Yep.
at the time, and he said, you know what? We're doing an anime-themed Dota major. I know you've never analyzed or casted in your life, but we think you'd be really appropriate for this theme, and I really want you to give it a try. So he basically talked me into it, and I was super nervous.
Yeah.
Super nervous. But I went, and yeah, the rest was history. It worked out.
That was a really good TLDR.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes people get stuck on something. I thought you were gonna get stuck on the Dota All-Star map of Warcraft 3. You got past it pretty good.
You can pick a place if you want me to elaborate, but
Yeah, that is what I'm gonna
Analyst.
do. This is the roadmap. For those of you that only like TLDRs, thank you for watching. We'll see you in a little bit.
till next
But then
time.
you're gonna miss out. A great story. How did you start off in Dota? Like, were you good? Were you just playing because everyone else was doing it? How did you get good at Dota? Because this is such a hard game. This is such a
yes.
hard game.
The best part of the story.
Oh, already?
I
This is
have
too early for the best part.
One of the best parts of the story.
Okay.
My good friend Samir
Yes.
Baslan is going to listen to this and chuckle gleefully because every time my Dota story comes up, he takes full credit. So when I was in the 8th grade, I played a lot of Flash games on the internet. Obviously, I played a lot of PlayStation as well, but I was super into this game called Naruto Arena.
Okay. Just copyright.
It was like this online battler. It was like HTML coded. It was pretty scuffed, but it was super fun. And
Okay.
it was my obsession. And this friend of mine, I would talk to him about gaming and stuff. He'd be like, gaming, what game are you so into right now? And I would be like, Naruto Arena. And he just was like, what? What is that? So I tried to show it to him on
Yeah.
the school's computer
Of course.
one day, naturally, because it could load on there.
Yeah.
It was a crappy game. But yeah, he looked at it and said, "Puh." Essentially, "Puh. This is garbage.
Okay.
That's not a real game."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I've got a real game for you." Next day, he shows up with a Warcraft 3 CD bootleg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep, he shows up to school with the Warcraft 3 CD bootleg, and he's like, "There's a map on here, Dota All-Stars. Learn it, play it, then you'll be a real gamer," basically.
So did you just get like negged to play? Like, you're like, I'm gonna be a real I am a real how dare you?
How dare you challenge me in my
Yeah.
Naruto Arena authority? My Sasuke team will destroy you, basically. Something like that. But no, I was into it. I mean, it was kind of like a challenge, and I basically got negged into it, as you said.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun because I remember installing it, bootlegged, by the way, so I couldn't go on Battle.net or anything.
Yeah.
But like I loaded into it completely different than anything else I had played. I just kept running it down and dying to creeps or minions, as you may know them.
Yeah.
And I was like, what on earth is this stupid game?
Yeah.
And in my head, there was this challenge that I had to accept. You know, I couldn't be the loser here.
Couldn't go back to 8th grade without knowing how to kill the creeps.
How could I go to freaking trigonometry if he was going to be there and just rubbing it in my face? I don't even know what class it was. Did we even take trig in 8th grade? I don't know. I digress.
Oh, yes.
So I just went online and went on like the Dota All-Stars forum and I started reading resources. Yeah, I got like I got this like little mod that let me change my hotkeys and stuff. And I kind of learned from the ground up. And the cool thing is my younger brother, who's a year younger than me at the time, was also super interested in learning. So we basically played it together and we kind of encouraged each other. And every time he would figure something out, he would show it to me. And when I learned a mechanic, I would show it to him. And it became our obsession, basically.
So did you get good with your brother?
Yes. And he got a lot better than I did, by the way. He went pro for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's got a whole ass story. He didn't do it for a long time, though, because it's not a very easy career path.
Oh, definitely. Being a pro player, you know, I could do IT and sit at home, or I could just be a pro player.
I mean, anyone could go pro.
How good did you get? For those that do know the MMR system, were you in the, how many thousands were you?
In general or back then?
You can say what your peak is, just like I say my peak is diamond in League of Legends.
Yeah, my peak in Dota is 9,500 MMR, which is considered pretty good because it's on the leaderboards of Europe, which is the most competitive server. But I can always be way better because there are people who just are reaching like 17k MMR now. You know, these pro players are ridiculous, but that is considered like 0.001 percentile. So I don't know what the league equivalent would be, but
0.001?
Yeah.
That's what you are? That's what 17K is?
No, 17K is just like the top 10 players.
It's definitely higher than Diamond for League of Legends. Yes.
That is actually crazy how high people have gotten, but I'm considered quite good, I would say. So long as like you're on the leaderboards, you're considered good. But in Dota, the skill ceiling is infinite. So.
I mean, that's the thing about online gaming, esports. But more specifically, again, Dota is pretty raw about it. It's here's your MMR. It's not like, hey, I'm playing Smash, and I'm pretty good at Smash. Pretty good at, Smash for whatever. And you can just say that because you beat your neighbors. Whereas like this is a global leaderboard. You have different standards with different servers. Obviously, Europe being the best. So yeah, just that was a nice little flex.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's a little flex. But the thing is, in Dota, people are so ridiculously good that the difference between me and a pro player and me and a Herald player, which is the lowest, I think the difference between me and the pro might be bigger because people just keep getting better and they keep getting so ridiculous. And the community is asking for MMR resets and they're asking to just find a way to deflate it, like cap the MMR around 10K, because a few years ago, 10K was a huge flex.
Yeah.
Now, if you're 10K, it's like, you can't go pro with that, bro. You suck. Go back to school.
Dang.
Yeah.
People would say, go back to school to you?
I mean, not to me, because I don't play pro.
Right.
Not that, it's hot or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why I turned British there. I thought that it was apt.
I don't know why you did either.
Response.
All right, we're digressing again. Because I need to know, when did you know that you were good? I think that's always a fascinating part with other pro players or talent. It's when you realized you had the inclination for this thing. Okay,
so I don't think the level that I am in Dota I've ever looked at and considered myself as good. Because like I said, the ceiling is infinite and there are, when you can see how well a lot of these pro players play, you know that you're not even close, even if you're on the leaderboards. But in terms of analysis, I thought that I sucked at it initially, but the more comfortable I grew on camera and the more that I got to like practice, basically, I started to think that it's something I could be really good at because I was always pretty nerdy in school. Like I like to study. I like to look at data. I mean, I was studying medicine before all of this, and then I studied physics for a couple of years.
That's
I just
nerdy.
Like, flip-flopped around. Yeah. And just taking that aspect of what I enjoyed in academics and applying it to what I do in broadcasting was super fun for me. And when I was able to make that mental link between what I do on broadcast and that, it became pretty fun. And eventually I thought, hey, I'm not too bad. I'm not too shabby, That took a while though.
When did it happen? Just because, I mean, having camera presence, being yeah, just good on camera is a different skill set than being an expert of the game. And you're not a host or a play-by-play. You're an analyst, and I don't want to have you or anyone else devalue that. So like, at what point did you realize, oh, I'm good at this part too? Good enough to be on broadcast to do that?
Yeah. So I've always felt like an imposter on broadcast in terms of camera ability.
Sure.
'Cause it was something that I basically had to build from scratch. But I would probably say it was around sometime last year, start of the year, that it clicked for me. Like, I worked on my speaking abilities. My voice is something I've worked on a lot, and I worked on trying to communicate more clearly and more concisely, because sometimes I would waffle.
Sure.
Still waffle from time to time if I think something's really cool. But once that became like at a decent level, the analysis I felt was always quite solid. But when the two connected together, where the camera skills and the analysis became, I'd say, a good product, yeah, start of last year. I'm not sure what event it was, but I remember working on thinking, wow, I did good, didn't I?
When the self-evaluation skills get to the point where you can do that, and it's not out of fear, but actually after love and class, that's a good point to reach. So I'm very happy for you that you've hit that, especially so recently. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's so tough, isn't it? Like, doing this job, you feel like you can always get better. And sometimes you'll have shows that you do where you beat yourself up over misphrasing a sentence or maybe not having the most energetic day on camera. And it feels like I'll never truly reach the form that I want to.
Why do you feel that?
It's just there's always something that can be improved on.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take, at least. Like, even today, for example, when I was done with my series, I made a mental checklist of everything I'd done wrong and how to not do that tomorrow. Even if it's small things like filler words. Sheaves, our host, pointed out to me yesterday that I kept saying but instead of and. So when I would add on to somebody's point, I would say but also instead of and also. And that's a small thing, but she said that sounds combative. Mm-hmm. So it's things that you don't even realize that you're doing, you're doing, and you have to work on.
Yeah, but that's what the process of self-improvement includes. It's the external feedback. So when you are trying to now get better as a talent or host, what are those, I guess, techniques that you use for our friends at home that might be interested in becoming talent and want to learn how to get good? Like, that is such an important skill set.
Honestly, practice makes perfect, and it's not the easiest thing to find the avenue to practice on. But if broadcasting is something you're passionate about, I would just probably strongly recommend speaking out loud, even to yourself.
Sure.
Like, for me, I had a very quiet speaking voice. I still do. But what I did when I initially got into broadcasting was I would read out loud every night just so that I could practice my level of volume that I was speaking, and also practice enunciating a little bit more clearly, because when you go from streaming in your bedroom and mumbling to your 100 viewers to then speaking on broadcast.
100 viewer flex over here.
100, bro.
I wish I had 100 viewers. Jeez.
I'll be your 100th viewer.
Thanks, girl.
Do you need like 98 more?
Keep going about getting good in the practice. Yeah, that'd be great.
You just, I think probably the most important thing is to be comfortable with speaking in general. And if you don't have the avenue to practice, let's say you don't have a broadcast you're hired for, but you'd like to get into it, a good baseline to build skills is to just talk to people.
Sure.
Like, extroverted people do tend to do better on broadcasts and on cameras. And if you just force yourself to step out of your comfort zone and talk to people more, that will naturally translate to camera skills.
You are breaking barriers as a female, as a Jordanian, and I'm really fascinated in how much that factors into, I guess, your goals and your work. Like, are you, how much do you think about that?
That's a good question. Yeah, I've never actually thought about that through that framing, but I have gotten a couple of emails and DMs and messages from young women and some from the Middle East too, saying that they look up to me. They think it's so cool what I do, that they've shown me to their parents to prove that it's a proper career path. Because in the Middle East, there are a lot of more traditionally minded parents.
Of course.
I'm sure you can relate as well with Asian parents being very strict too in that sense. But I've gotten messages like that saying that I do inspire them. So that's really exciting. But when I go into a tournament, I never really look at myself as representing anything. I just do it. And then if I get an email like that, it kind of clicks. I'm like, oh, okay, that's awesome.
I think that is so, I want to say meritocratic of you. I just made up that word. That you're just like, the playing field's the playing field. It goes back to very Dota mindset. The playing field's the playing field, and I'm going to do the best and represent myself the best. And then when you come out of the battle, you're like, wow, I did do this for a lot of people, not just people are used to seeing it, but just so many others that maybe not have the opportunity to do it and maybe can do it in the future. So as we start thinking about the future, what are some of the pieces of advice that you would give people if they were interested in taking a career in esports and, you know, stepping away from the traditional landscape?
Advice.
That's right. You have to give advice.
No, I think that the best piece of advice I can give is you're going to fail a lot and you're going to fall on your face quite a bit, especially pursuing a career path that isn't so clear cut.
Yep.
And you might have some opportunities that you really wanted that were shot on you, but ultimately you have to persist through all of the failures, because I don't think anyone who got here had an easy path to it. So you just got to try. You just got to go for it. And if you want my epic advice, read books out loud. I'm even kidding. It helps. It helps.
No, that's great. Both a mental advice for it and then just the practical advice. Mira, everyone, better known as Ephey, in the Dota circuit, giving you the advice, the journey that she had, and what does your future look like? What is your future goal? What are you working towards?
Dion, that is such a difficult question.
Why is that hard?
What are you working towards?
It's not my interview. It's your interview.
Well, it's your interview now.
I've done one already.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you invite me? I could have hosted you.
Yeah, well, you could have. I might have driven more of it. What are you working towards, Mira?
I am working towards a future of happiness, and I don't know what that entails, and that's super cheesy and you can laugh at me, but I really don't know. Will I be in esports in 5 years? I don't know. Will I be doing something else in 5 years? I don't know. Could I be in esports in 10 years? Probably, maybe. I would love to, but what if things change? So for me, my future is just setting small goals and trying to reach them every year, whether it's MMR goals inside of Dota, like I want to reach 10K before TI, so I gotta get home and grind, or if it's something more, you know, expansive, like next year I'd like to try interviewing, which I don't really do. I think smaller goals like that are definitely more achievable, but I've never been a long-term thinker, if I'm being honest.
Who's your favorite hero?
Earth Spirit.
What is your favorite moment in TI history?
TI3 Grand Finals, Alliance versus Navi.
And then who's your favorite talent to work with?
Shiver.
Boom. I didn't think you were going to answer that, and you did.
I mean, she's my inspiration, so. She's like truly a wonderful person to be around, and she's been doing this for so long that like it's just a pleasure always.
Ephey, everyone, fantastic interview. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Dion. And your future, he'll share it to me one day.
One day.
Everybody.
Maybe it'll be in the next ESA Origin series. Make sure to like and subscribe. Until then, take care.
You engage with me.
I was engaging.
You just breathe through it. We're getting out of here.